And welcome back to the channel as the Down Under Gooner channel goes worldwide, as I'll be supporting my nation, Australia, in the World Cup, as we are just reacting to what just happened against Turkey, where we came out winners 2-0. And it is quite a surprising result. Obviously, Turkey came in as definitely probably the favourites. You're looking at the quality of the players, the experience, and all of that. Australia, the average age of the squad was about 24 years of age, if I remember correctly. And then Turkey has a lot of experience. Çalhanoğlu, for example, Kenan Yildiz, Arda, obviously he's still young, but a lot of experience in the top flights, playing for Real Madrid. Kokchu as well. They have such brilliant players, but the Socceroos, with with their undying fighting spirit that we pride ourselves on, we pull out a fantastic result, especially in the context of the group with the US beating out Paraguay 4-1. So you're looking at that game as potentially a game that we can probably get a result out of. Paraguay didn't look very good. We'll see how they go against Turkey, as we will play them last in the group stages. But next up, we will go against the US on the Saturday, 5 a.m. Australian time. So if you guys are wanting to join in on the live watch-alongs, I'll be there. Hopefully the Socceroos can do one better. But otherwise, let's focus on the Turkey match. And yeah, what a game. I haven't really watched much of the Socceroos on their qualifying on their way to the World Cup. Obviously, the Socceroos, they qualified very early. They qualified last year in June 2025 after winning out the Asian Cup. So, I haven't really watched too much of them. I didn't really follow their journey in the friendlies. But the way they set up was they set up very defensively. They set up as a 5-4-1 formation, 5 defenders at the back. And it definitely proved something that Turkey was not really prepared to deal with. They just had no answer. They were trying all different things. They were trying long shots. They were trying balls into the box. They were trying cutbacks. They were trying all sorts of things. But in the end, they didn't really create any huge chances. I mean, they did create some pretty good chances. There was a shot outside of the box that Beach, and by the way, Beach, goalkeeper for Australia, comes on for the experienced Matt Ryan and does an absolutely wonderful job. He starts off the night with that brilliant save against that shot from Turkey outside of the box. Fingertip save, pushes it onto the post, keeps it out, and then further on delivers. I can't remember the stats. It felt like 5 to 6 saves that Beach pulled off, and they were all mainly due to really, really good positioning. A lot of the shots just went straight to his body, so he was able to just collect it. But some good diving saves from free kicks. Some reaction saves here and there. There was a really nice ball from Çalhanoğlu into the right wing in our box, where he's able to, keep the goal small and deny another shot on target. He had a brilliant game. But the 2 goals comes from just brilliant individual moments. The first one was a breakaway by Irankunda. He gets played over the top, long ball. And that was pretty much our tactic, our way of getting at the Turkish team, is to play these long balls over the top and use these really pacey youngsters in Irankunda, in Toure, in finding ways to get into goal. And Irankunda did that. He did that constantly and was an absolute thorn in the Turkish defender's side. And his chance was sensational. He took it brilliantly. A really quick run onto the ball. His first touch was brilliant. Was able to beat the last defender. And then he's placed in a one-on-one with the keeper and slots it right past into the near post. So yeah, a moment of magic from Irankunda. all of us Aussies know of him. He currently plays at Watford, so he's going to be a rising star in world football, I reckon. He showed a lot of composure, showed a lot of speed, and his finishing ability was sensational. And then the second goal comes from yet again another moment of brilliance from Metcalfe, who similarly is able to dispossess. I'm not sure if he was the one that dispossessed the Turkish player, but he was able to get the ball in the midfield, take the ball, run with it into pockets of space, dribbles right into around just outside the box, I would say, and then is able to drive it low, drive it strong, drive it fast with a bit of a curl into the bottom corner, and the goalkeeper could not get to it at all. 2-0 at that point. It was around 80 minutes, and that point it was probably game over because Australia's defending was so resolute, was so determined to keep the Turkish players away from our goal. And yeah, look, the Australians defended with a lot of pride, with a lot of desperation, lots of last minute blocks, stuff that would make an Arsenal fan like me and like all of you proud. Last ditch blocks, last ditch efforts, really making sure we don't commit silly fouls. Although we did, commit a couple of fouls, and it allowed Turkey to have some really scary moments in front of goal. But again, Beach, 2 good saves on those free kicks. Not much. I can't say more about him. And I didn't, you don't expect. I had no idea what to expect from Beach, replacing Matt Ryan. Obviously, Matt Ryan is a legend of the Aussie Socceroos, but yeah, he's definitely earned my respect. And all the defenders from the Socceroos earned my respect. Italiano, what a fullback he is. A lot of the balls was played to his side on the left side for Turkey, feeding Yildiz constantly, and time and time again, he just could not be beaten. He didn't commit any fouls. He was resolute, and he was able to constantly shut down any scary balls into the box. And as a team, we made it really compact, and the only way Turkey could get at us is on the wide areas, trying to whip balls into the area, but with such physical presences from Harry Suter and Cam Burgess, they just dealt with anything that came on into the box with relative ease, I would say. So yeah, a formidable game, a defensive masterclass that I was saying on my stream, and obviously if you watched my shorts, very reminiscent of how Arsenal played against PSG, where we would sit back and relying on our off-ball abilities, recognizing that the opposing team was probably going to be better, technically better, moving the ball around. So let them play their game. We'll focus on making sure that they don't get anything easy in the box. And the Australians did that exceptionally well. So yeah, we move on. We will be looking at the USA game in in a week's time. It's going to be a big game. USA dismantled Paraguay 4-1 in a very dominating fashion. So hopefully we can limit their ability to attack us. But I think defensively we looked way more solid, way more organized than Paraguay that time. So I think we have a crack. We can have a crack. So yeah, look, I'm not expecting Australia to go far. I'm expecting us hopefully to get out of the group and maybe even get a game out in the knockout stages. But even getting out of the groups, this is a tough group for a team like us. And we're still a very small footballing nation. We're starting to grow. We're starting to get a lot of interest into the sport, but it's still not a huge priority, I guess. But any little success like this is a huge step forward for the nation. And I'm really proud of the boys. Hopefully they can keep going, keep fighting, keep that Aussie spirit, Aussie pride on the line. Hopefully they can, get further than they ever done. I think the furthest we've ever gone is around 16. So hopefully we can get even further. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully if you're an Aussie as well, come along for the ride and enjoy the Socceroos journey in this World Cup fixtures, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.